What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome into Outside the Trenches presented by Jack Stack Barbecue. As you can tell, once again, we are without our fearless leader, BJ Kissel. My name is Tucker Franklin, and I am with Super Bowl champion Nick Leckey on this fine snowy day. It's a little snow day in Kansas City. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good, Tucker. It's one of those days where we had to delay this a little bit because I got done shoveling the driveway. It was my exercise for the day, so I am good. I can maybe get some buffalo wings tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah, shoveling the driveway is one of my favorite chores. Actually, I actually enjoy it, especially you put music in, and if the snow's light and fluffy, it's no problem. It's an easy thing to do.
That's the key. Is you can't wait. You got to get out there and attack it early, attack it often. It's like Bill Cowher.
Yeah. Before we get into too much stuff, we got to thank our partners, Jack Stack Barbecue, for hooking us up and everything. They still got their sale going on here. You can save 40% on their a la carte sale. We talked about it last week, trying to get that stuff in for the Super Bowl. But listen, any day is a good day to have barbecue, especially Jack Stack Barbecue. You can get up to 40% off all your a la carte favorites. Plus, enjoy free ground shipping on shipped orders of $115 plus. You can use the promo code STOCKUP22 for sale prices and free shipping by March 6th. You can use that, and you can get all your barbecue needs there. Nick, what are you thinking? What was the last time you had some Jack Stack, man?
Oh man, it's been a couple weeks. I think I know we did a live recording there a couple weeks ago, and then my wife and I went back like the next and 2 days later because I brought her back some hickory pit beans and some cheesy corn bake, and she was like, I need the burn ends. She's like, I need the beef burn ends. And I'm like, and I could go for some wings and I can go for a Crown Prime. So we went back there for lunch. So it's been about a month. I haven't been there in the new year, that's for sure, which is a bad idea. I need to get back there. There's nothing like, to me, barbecue to warm your soul from the inside out.
I completely agree, and I think that it's one of those things. Tara and I went for New Year's Eve. We went. I think that was probably the last time I had it. Yeah, I don't think we've done a show from the Lenexa location since. So I think it was New Year's Eve was the last time I had it. Obviously, got the taste of Kansas City, but again, before we get into, we got to take care of the people taking care of us. And this podcast is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? You or somebody you love falling into depression or struggling with anxiety can keep you from what you care about. BetterHelp will assist your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You'll be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. And this is the cool part. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional therapy that's done securely and it's done online. And there's a broad range of expertise available, which might not be available locally in Kansas City or really wherever you are. So, and this is available for clients worldwide, and you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. So you don't have to be in person to do it. I think that's kind of a cool thing. You can visit their website and read testimonials that are posted daily. Visit betterhelp.com/KCSN. That's better, HELP. And you can join over the 2 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced professional. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they are recruiting additional therapists in all 50 states. Again, we got a special offer. If you want to use BetterHelp, go for KCSN listeners can get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/KCSN. That is betterhelp.com/KCSN. Nick, let's get into the football stuff. And listen, when we started to try to figure out what we were talking about for this podcast, there really hasn't been a whole lot going on, but the Super Bowl did happen. I asked you, hey, did you watch the Super Bowl? Of course. Is that what your answer was? What did you think of that game, man?
I thought the game was, like most Super Bowls, pretty boring for the first half. It just seems like chess moves, and I thought Los Angeles was going to run away with it. And then, losing Odell, sort of, you could tell that was a big part of their game plan, Sean McVay's game plan. And, that was, I think other people had to step up. And I think Cooper Kupp, stepped up. And then, I mean, it was a good game. And then lo and behold, who steals the show was the D line in the second half. They started going 4 D linemen and Mike walked up over the center. So you go, 5-on-5, and Von Miller, man. Von Miller one-on-one in space. Dude just knows how to perform. I mean, he had 2 of the highest grades in 2 Super Bowls. The one he won in with versus Denver, and this one. I mean, dude knows how to turn it on, man. Shout out DeSoto, Texas. That's in the hood. That's the DFW area. So yeah, he's a DeSoto Eagle from A&M.
Yeah, Von Miller played really well. Aaron Donald really turned it on in that last drive. He's like, you know what? The play where he made on small GP, right, where he literally pulled him backwards. And small GP is not like a small running back either. Like he's a hefty dude. Like look, they're all hefty dudes. They're playing in the NFL. He took a grown man and pulled him back by his waist from getting 1 yard. I saw that and I was like, well, this game's over. Like this game's done. Aaron Donald has proven that this is his ring to take, and I'm happy for Aaron Donald, man. That dude deserves it. He can really submit himself he's already is a Hall of Famer, but if he does go on and play a few more years, which I think that he should, I'm not gonna tell the dude what to do though. I think that it'll just cement him further as a great defender. And you were right about OBJ, man. I had a couple of wagers on some of the passing game statistics. You know,
Can you bet on a Super Bowl? Do people do that?
I think so. It's a new thing, I think, this year that people can do that. But I think I had one, any quarterback over 375 yards passing. And after the first quarter, you know, OBJ, Stafford were rolling. Cooper Kupp was getting in there, mixing in. And I was like, man, I feel good. There was a big bomb from Jamar Chase, 2 Jamar Chase from Joe Burrow. I was like, this stat feels good. Then OBJ unfortunately got injured, and that kind of slowed that whole process down. The Rams couldn't run the ball, but they kept trying to run the ball. Very weird. And it looked like it was a weird game, but the end of the game, I think, really totally redeemed itself.
It did. No, it was dramatic, and it's kind of cool. We're like, okay, we're playing it conservative. Okay, now we're gonna rip the top off it. You're not gonna be able to adjust it. It's kind of like when you do a bid on eBay at the last second. No one's going to expect it. You can't counter it, and you got some other stuff going on. So that's kind of what they did, and I thought that was really cool. It really was. Yeah. And to me, the best part of the game was Aaron Donald beating the left guard around the edge and getting it. The center was helping, but the center was helping inside out, and he got beat to the outside, which you think, okay, that's fine, and he still got there. And then Aaron Donald took off the helmet and did this one. I was just like, give me my ring. What do you think? Hey, what do you think? I mean, if you were Aaron Donald, do you go out on top knowing you've still got 2 or 3 more peak years, or do you do those peak years and sort of weaken a little bit?
Well, that's a good question. I think that's kind of the same question going on with Sean McVay, right? And I know his fiance posted on Instagram like he's not retiring, but that was the whole thing with Sean McVay is if he gets a title, he should just go to the TV booth. That was the conspiracy going around because he'll make more money there. It's the thing, kind of the thing with Aaron Donald. Like if he gets this, he could make more money on endorsement deals doing TV and then possibly what he could at D-line. Who knows? That market's really shifted in the past couple of years with Chris Jones and everything. So maybe as an interior D-line, he could really make some serious money there. But man, if he's happy, if he's content, I want that dude to do what he deserves to be happy. I think he's one of the OG Rams. Like he was on there. People were posting pictures of him with the St. Louis Rams, and man,
he was not a St. Louis Ram. Was he a St. Louis Ram?
I'm pretty sure, like in 2013. Yeah.
No. Who was he drafted?
Dude.
By? Seriously?
By the Rams. Yes, by the Rams. I'm like
97%
sure he was an OG Ram. Live look up on the pod right now.
Are you live? Are you live? I am too. I am too.
No check his Wikipedia page.
Yeah, check his Wikipedia.
St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams. Yep. He was drafted in 2014.
And when did they leave? 2015?
Yeah, I think so.
Rams moved to LA. In 2016, the Rams moved back.
Dude, he was there for 2 seasons.
Wow.
He was in St. Louis for 2 seasons.
I just figure because I played there with Chris Long when Chris Long was drafted there.
Right.
And then Chris Long did not make the move. Like they did him dirty, cut him in the offseason before. And then they moved. They moved and then they cut him. I was like, man, that is messed up. But then good for him because he went on to win a Super Bowl with the Patriots and then Philly. It was like, God dang, what a way to get kicked off a burning ship and onto flipping Bezos's yacht.
Yeah, I've got a buddy who's a St. Louis who was a St. Louis Rams fan, and obviously feels betrayed by Stan Kroenke, and that sucks. It does, and he was not in a good place seeing the Rams win a Super Bowl, especially seeing the newfound interest, I guess, in the Rams after they left St. Louis. Like, oh, now they care about this team. So he was bummed immediately. Yeah, that's so tough. I felt so bad.
I was kind of.
Yeah. Speaking of halftime, what do you think about that halftime show? That was a dream,
bro. I finally I saw some. I forgot who it was, but they're like my middle school, high school, college years are coming together at one time.
Yeah.
And it's like I feel seen by big advertisers right now. That's how I felt.
Good.
That's totally how I felt.
Yeah. It said it was like I think I saw the memes going on like this is the millennials' dream right now. Yes, really just harping on all those things, man. I thought it was probably and this is not I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that it's got to be the best halftime show ever. And I know that there have been some good ones. I personally thought The Weeknd's was good last year. I know a lot of Chiefs fans didn't because dude, I love The Weeknd.
Me too.
I had tickets to go see The Weeknd, and he canceled his tour. He canceled in Kansas City, so I was a little bummed about that. It's supposed to be in February, but so I like that, even though the Chiefs were getting beat in the Super Bowl. I know that kind of tainted a lot of people's. Was it J-Lo and Shakira the year the Chiefs won it? It was J-Lo.
Yes, it was. I remember because I love Shakira. I've been a Shakira stan since forever. I'm for that.
Yeah. So I thought it was probably the best one, at least that I've been alive for.
Yeah, but you're right. Like I remember tweeting like how much I'm hyped for the Super Bowl, a halftime show, but then I forgot that The Weeknd, the first song like The Weeknd did was The Hills, and I go, what? And that's my favorite Weeknd song.
Yeah,
it's that sort of drugged out. Sort of this dude's raw. He's speaking raw emotions. I can feel that sort of hangover-y vibe on that song. And it's like, young man on the road, he doing promo, right? And it's like, I'm like, yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Like, that's my number one hangover song too, and party song, weirdly enough.
Dude, every time I get a new set of speakers or a new I put in a car stereo when I was in high school. The first song I always play is The Hills. The Hills is the first song I'll play. It's like, oh, this is a new phone. What's the first thing I should play? The Hills. And it's like, oh, my new computer. What song should I play to kick it off? The Hills. New headphones. The Hills. That's how I've operated for probably ever since that song came out. So because we can really, I don't want to. I always feel bad when I do this because The Weeknd was really reaching popularity when I was in high school. So a very, very impressionable years for me. And The Weeknd was right there. And I've always liked Drake, and they're kind of on the same label there. So they got kind of hot at the same time, with him going on Take Care. Some of the songs on there. Gosh. We could do a whole music podcast, Nick. I'm sure of it that we could.
I think we could. I think it could. Mumble rap in The Weeknd, because I know that that'd be good. We do a whole Future as well. Are you a big Future fan?
Dude, he dropped a song on Valentine's Day. I don't know if you heard it. It's called Worst Day, because he's just saying about, man, Valentine's Day is the worst day when you're rich. Is basically the whole premise of the song. And it's just very, very Future. But I respect it, man. I do. But yeah.
He's speaking what he knows on. He's he's not really, he's probably still really not connected to the streets as much as he used to be. So it's you really can't be speaking on that stuff right now. Right. It's it's not authentic.
Just sleeping with a lot of ladies is what he's talking about.
Getting the perfect, cup lead noise. Right there.
Getting that perfect noise in there. All right, Nick, I guess we should talk about football kind of because there was some news. There was some coaching news, not the coaching news that we wanted. I do on the other screen here. If you're watching us on YouTube and you see me look over now and again, I do have my tweet deck up and I'm looking to see if anything happens as it comes in just because we're kind of in that spot where we're waiting for news to come in. And
It's a drought season.
It is a drought for sure, but there was some coaching changes. Shout out Sam Madison going back to Miami, where he played, where he was ball hawking safety there. Safety or corner? He coached cornerbacks for the Chiefs. I think he played safety though. If off the top of my head, but I will look that up after I asked you this question about coaching changes, Nick.
Yes.
Now you played offensive line. This is a cornerback coach leaving and going elsewhere. I'm sure in your time playing in the league, there were coaching changes that happened at positions that weren't your position. And I'm curious to if that affects you even a little bit.
No, it doesn't. I mean, if unless it was your O coordinator or your head coach leaving, it doesn't affect you too much. I've seen, coaches come and go, and it's just a part of the game. You can't bring back your whole squad intact. It's going to be, different formula, different setup. And so, you always wish them well, especially ex-players too. And you see they go back to, I think it's cool, this trend about, players where they balled at, going back. Look at Dan Campbell. He was a very successful tight end for the Lions, when I was playing, through my career. And, he was a hell of a pass blocking tight end. It was amazing. And I played with him in New Orleans. So just cool to see guys go back to where they played. And it's sort of, it kind of gives it a English Premier League feel. Like where you got, your ex-player going back, sort of like the, I guess they're kind of following suit with college, like, all these players coming back like Scott Frost. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's like, coaches go back or players go back to where they were from. Like, it'd be cool for me to go back to K-State one day and coach if there was ever an opening. I think the O-line coach there now, he kicks ass. So it's not, and I like living in Kansas City. But still, I think it's cool. I think it's cool NFL's doing that.
Yeah. Oh, I think so too. And I looked up he was a cornerback, so I was wrong on my first instinct of him being a safety. But was a ball hawk. Was I think a 4-time Pro Bowler when I was doing some research. Like, dude was good. Dude was good for sure. It's cool that Mike McDaniel bringing him back, getting him in the system, getting a promotion, an increase of title, which you can only assume means an increase in paycheck.
Yes.
Love to see the guys succeed. You love to see the boys go on and get some success no matter where it is. But always be rooting for Sam, man. What he did with the cornerback room, I think, is incredible, especially when you look at the lack of investment, I guess you could say, putting into it and getting out like with a 4th-round pick in Rashad Fenton. I think he was a 4th-round pick. And then Charvarius Ward, who, was a UDFA, getting that guy playing like he's going to be like probably the top 3 guy on the free agent market right now. Charvarius Ward is. And I think that should not be understated what he did to get out of, Rashad Fenton, Charvarius Ward, L'Jarius Sneed. And it literally was next man up at that position.
It was cool. Well, and couple that with, safety play. Right. Tyrann Mathieu, I mean, just leading everybody from back there, being that quarterback for those back 4, those back 5, if you've got a nickel in there. And it's just cool to see him play. And it shows when you're an ex-player who was really good and then also was a student of the game, and you can be like, hey man, like here's how you do it. Here's how I saw this guy do it, or here's how this guy do it. Here's what I did. And here's what I wish I would have done. And it's like, if you can speak on it, like I had coaches who played at a college level, but I was only coached by Russ Grimm, as he was like a Hall of Fame O lineman. And the way he set up with pass, like the protection schemes he did for us were consistent every week. Even if we played the Steelers with their stupid, 1 D lineman, 7 guys walking around everywhere, the blob defense, right? The rules were consistent. And other teams I played for where O-line coaches weren't, like they played back in the day where we're changing up rules every week. And it's like, okay, what's this rule mean this week? And then, it's like, so from a ex-player, I think it's big if they know how to do it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where the game's trending, at least, especially with position players. I think you
Yes.
kind of see that happen a lot more. Position coaches, I should say. You're seeing that happen a whole lot more. And the Chiefs have some roles to fill. And listen, Casey Lab is all over that stuff, and
Yeah.
they know a lot more about the coaching positions and who's going to be there and who's on the market and who could they bring in a lot better than we do. So stay tuned into those guys. I know they're watching Twitter as close as I am to see who the Chiefs do. It's kind of anticipated it's going to be one of those Friday news dumps, right? It's going to be like, all right, let's just get this out of here, kind of hide this one. I think that's kind of the thing that we're thinking about. But Nick, let's talk about the beef of the week. The beef of the week's not a traditional thing. Well, it is traditional for this show. It's tradition for the show to have a beef of the week. Listen, there's a lot going on in the world. It's a long off season. It's not even March, and it feels like it's been forever. But we're trying to stay out of that. We're trying to stay out of a lot of stuff.
Drama free, sucker free. That's what we say.
Drama free sucker. Let's put that on a shirt.
Let's do that.
Hot seller. But this beef of the week is listen. I mean, this might actually be the exact opposite of that saying when we talk about Kanye West and Pete Davidson.
Oh God,
dude,
that's the epitome of the opposite. That's the polar opposite. That's like the super contrast opposite of anything.
Kanye West never ceases to amaze me. He always takes his craziness a step further. Like I remember he had to make an Instagram post about his Instagram not being hacked. Like he's like, no, I am doing all of this. Like I am acting like this. Like he had to say like, yeah, no, I'm being crazy right now. And then I think he made something that was like, stop saying I'm off my meds. I'm not off my meds. And I think that there was like a whole, post about that. And he keeps posting screenshots with his conversations with Kim Kardashian. And I think he even posted a screenshot where she said, stop posting screenshots of our conversations. And
why don't you guys call each other then instead of texting?
Right. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's no paper trail. So, Nick, I want to get your thoughts on this because I know that you're keeping up with this, obviously. The dude shows up in a full face mask at the Super Bowl. And
those memes just write themselves. What do you say? Imagine paying $10,000 for a ticket and this is how you watch the show. And it was like a face mask with 4 holes. Listen. It's like the same thing with Machine Gun Kelly and Transformers. Megan Fox.
Yep, you're there. Yep, you got it.
It's see, I like I said, I'm bad with names, but I know the concepts. Everything I saw this meme and it was perfect, and it was everything I know about Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox has been against my will on Twitter. It's I have never gone out of my way to type that into the Google ever. I have never once typed in Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. It's been thrust upon me, right? Like the algorithms deemed it, and I'm a sucker. I click on it. I go, okay, what's this? What's this blood thing? But listen, here's how I love Kanye, because I remember a video of Kanye in 2004 when he was this was pink polo Kanye. This is prep Kanye, right? This isn't black skinhead Kanye. This isn't spoken word album. This isn't Life of Pablo Kanye. This isn't 808s Kanye. This isn't My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy Kanye. This is Pink Polo Kanye. And he was geeking out. He was raw. He was like geeking out. He's in the studio with P. Diddy. And he was like, look at me. And he probably has his teeth still wired. He's like, I'm in the studio with P. Diddy, man. Life is good. And then, he had some unfortunate shit happen to him, lost his mom to, plastic surgery. So he's got some demons he's dealing with too, had the drug issues, car accident, all that stuff. But listen, here's how you consume Kanye. Kanye has dedicated his life. And here's you got to see the beauty and everything. Kanye has dedicated his life to being one big giant art performance piece.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I mean, what did he do before his latest album? He lived in the Superdome. Are you kidding? Or not the Georgia Dome. right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Shaq, he's hanging out with Antonio Brown. It's just an art performance. Bro, you imagine, listen, bro, it's one thing to paint your face for a game, but he wore like a hood like thing on his face. Like, that's art. He's putting on a show for us, bro. I'm like, thank you, Kanye. Thank you for living outside the coloring outside the lines. And that's how I consume content, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the proper way to consume him. I can remember I was in high school when my senior year of high school, he was dropping The Life of Pablo. Like, that's when that album came out. And I had yeah.
High school.
Yeah. I had tweet notifications on for Kanye, and that was an adventure. Just because I was anticipating him dropping the album, right? And that was the whole Tidal phase of like, I'm only dropping this on Tidal. You gotta subscribe to Tidal. And then like that didn't happen, and he changed that album name like 6 times, I think. Yeah, but that was an adventure. And I think that like the thing about Kanye, it's so good, and I want to think that he does it on purpose because I don't. I think the dude knows what he's doing, right? I don't think he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and I think he even had like something where he said like, I didn't intend for me to trend over the Super Bowl or my family to trend over the Super Bowl on Super Bowl Sunday, and I read that and I was like, that might be the first like false thing he said. Because I think
4 true things, 1 lie. That's a lie.
Right. That's a lie. You woke up and you chose to put on that mask with 4 holes in it. And there was a comedian who posted something on Instagram that was like, I just overheard Kanye asked if he could take this off because it's getting too hot. I don't know if you saw that. I can't remember who
I did see that. I forgot the comedian as well, too. But I remember hearing it's like, I'm behind Kanye. And he was talking to Antonio Brown about that. Yeah.
Like Judd, I think it was Judd Apatow.
Judd Apatow. Like Judd Apatow. Yeah. Absolutely was. Yes, it was. Yes, the director, right?
Dude's a legend. Yeah, dude's a legend. Simpsons guy. Yeah, dude's a legend. But yeah, no, it's just the whole that whole saga around him, and like we haven't even touched on like the whole Pete Davidson, like his big beef with him, and he's like cutting off every relationship he's had with anybody who's like remotely close with Pete Davidson. And he had a verse on a song I was listening to the other like the New Music Friday playlist, and he had like a verse I didn't know he was on there, and he was like, I'm gonna pull up to SNL and disown everyone there or something like that. I don't know. It's on a Fabio Foreign song is what it's on. If you're into that stuff, it's that Brooklyn drill stuff.
Okay, I like drill. Personally. I like that Chicago drill.
Brooklyn drill is very interesting. I really got into it with Pop Smoke, and his unfortunate death and everything. But and Fabio Foreign was one guy who did a lot of stuff with Pop Smoke. So that's how that came up on my end. And I'm sure as you tuned into this Chiefs podcast, you knew you were going to get a lesson on Brooklyn drill.
I forgot who it was, but did you ever listen to that Travis Scott and Jack Boys like 7 cut like EP?
See, I've never been like that big of a fan of Travis Scott. I think because kind of it is different, but I think it's kind of the hype around Travis Scott, if that makes sense, or the people that I've known that like Travis Scott have turned me off of Travis Scott. It's nothing against Travis Scott
back in the day.
And I love Travis Scott's sneaker collabs. I think they're some of the best that's ever happened.
Solid L's on a sneaker app, Tucker. Thank you. Yes,
dude. Yeah,
Cactus Jack.
Got to go and buy the knockoffs, from China. I got to go hop over to DHgate and get those essentially. Also, Eminem had his own custom 3s, by the way. I thought for sure we were going to talk about that, but those were sick. But yeah, wild stuff going on in the streets. And listen, this is a perfect time not to focus on football, right? I think that this is kind of a good time to get off Twitter. Spend some time with your loved ones. Your kids probably miss you. And I think that this is a good time to kind of take a deep breath and recollect your thoughts. And listen, here's the thing. I wish I could do this, but my job is too much involved around Twitter and everything and social media. If it was up to me, I would get off of Twitter until March 16th. March 16th is when free agency starts. That's when you need to be back on Twitter. That's it. I guess the solution.
I've been getting on it less and less just because this season right now, there's so much speculation right now. And just like wait till people get signed, wait till the draft. Like, shout out to you guys
Yep.
for grinding, watching college film. Like, I like to watch film, and I said this before, I like to watch film after the Chiefs draft them, and then I'll watch their film. If you can organize it for me the first through whatever rounds, it's like, okay, then I'll watch it.
Yeah, we'll hook you up for sure. We'll hook you up.
But, you guys do that work for me, right? It's perfect. I just read all the Substack.
Exactly. KCSN.substack.com. We haven't even announced a lot of the draft stuff that we're going to be doing. So make sure you're tuned in there. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube. Subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast. Listen, that was a pro transition right there. I appreciate that, Nick. But let's close out this podcast here with an OTT original in Blind Nil. Nick, do you want to start us off?
Sure. Okay. Here, I'm gonna do choose your own adventure today, Tucker.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna give you 2 words. You got to pick a word. That's gonna be the one.
Okay.
Beijing, Las Vegas.
I spent too many days in Las Vegas, so I'm gonna go with Beijing.
Okay. How do you watch the Olympics? Are you Mr. Expert in 2 seconds of sport you've never seen before in your life until that moment in time? Or are you just casual? Like, what's the, how are you watching? You have sports you love?
Listen, I really love curling, and I think that happened probably about 4 years ago when the American team made that run. And so I've made an effort to watch curling. They've just been in the round robin stages, so there's been a ton of curling on, and I usually don't care. I usually don't care who's playing when I watch it. It's just one of those fun games. It's like, oh, this looks like something I could do, and it's like one of those things where it's like I could do this. Yes. So I don't think I like try to be an expert. There's some things where I like try to be like, okay, they're gonna try to do this here, they're gonna try to do this here. It's a very simple strategy game. I think I don't want to. Simple might not be the right word, but I think it's not as complex as other sports. I think that's fair to say. I don't want to insult any curlers.
I know, right? You just
but I insulted all of them. But I do love their sport of curling. I think that's phenomenal. But when it comes to like skeleton and bobsled and luge, ain't no way I'm gonna act like I know even a little bit of what I'm talking about. I'm just like, that dude's going fast. And it's always, they had the monobob on after the Super Bowl, and you bet your ass I stayed around and watched that. And that was sick. The bobsled just flying around everywhere. But yeah, no, I like those sports. The skiing and like shooting stuff, I think they call it biathlon.
Yeah,
which kind of is confusing. That stuff doesn't do it for me. I don't know why. Like skiing doesn't do it for me. The snowboarding does, but skiing really doesn't for some reason. I do like the ski jump because of the Wii Sports game that they had.
Oh yeah. Yes. So you gotta feel for it because you did Wii Sports, right? So you can empathize. Or
I can relate,
Yeah, exactly. I got you. That's funny. I like to watch it where it's like I was like kind of set up, but it's funny to see like, oh, what's this sport? 2 minutes later, I'm like an expert. I'm like, oh, he took that turn a little too close. I don't think he's not going to get that. Like, oh, why would you do that? Why did you do that? He missed that gate. Like he should not have taken that run. And that's like 2 minutes ago. I had no clue this sport existed. Now I'm an expert. That's what I love about the Olympics. That's my favorite thing about the Olympics. Is like you see something and you're like, okay. Oh, I get it. I totally get it. And you could watch it. And it's like, okay, all right, see you again in 4 years. I never think about you again until 4 years.
Oh, 100%. Like I didn't think about curling until they just started back up. Like, oh yeah, this is a thing. No, but I've been workshopping a tweet here, and by the time this podcast is out, this tweet might be out because I've been thinking about it for a minute. I want to take like a picture of like me watching Blades of Glory and saying watching the Winter Olympics. That's the tweet I'm workshopping, and it's probably going to be out before I post this podcast. So I'll have to make sure of that because I think I thought about that today, and I thought that was so funny. But I've thought about a lot of things recently that I think are funny that Twitter hasn't really thought were very funny.
I despise those tweets where you hit send after you thought about it. You're like, oh my God, this is going to blow up the world. And it's like,
yeah, good. All of my memes about NFTs haven't done anything. But
much like probably all your NFTs that you've created.
Bingo, much like NFTs. There it was. All right, Nick. So before we hopped on the podcast today, we were looking at the USFL uniform drops. Needless to say, we were not impressed with what they have going on there in the USFL. Listen, I'm excited for spring football. Maybe they'll look different on the players. Am I going to watch USFL? Probably, because I'm a crack addict for football. But I want to know, Nick, throughout your years playing college football, playing in the league, what was your favorite uniform combo to wear?
Definitely nothing at K-State. Like, I love the purple and silver, but I wish we could have got like the Florida Gators all blue. That was like my favorite college. That was just epic. Or even like the Hurricanes, like the orange top or the all green Hurricanes. I'm a fan of the all greens. So my third favorite was the all red Arizona Cardinals. Those are clean with the white helmet. Second favorite was the all blue St. Louis Rams, because we had the blue helmet with the gold ram. That was clean. We played the Giants in 2008, week 4, and we wore those and we almost won. It felt good. I was like, damn. And then my all-time favorite, number one favorites, is the all black New Orleans Saints with the gold helmet and the black Florida League. Oh my, you felt good. We lost to Dallas that game, December 20th, but though we look good. We look good losing. We're really good losing.
I do always love the all black uniforms are my favorite. Just for really any team, if you can do an all black uniform, like when Mizzou will go all black, I always love that.
So good.
The all black Saints uniforms are maybe a top 3 uniform in the league. I think just overall, but man, there's just so many good uniform combinations. The ones I don't like, the Dallas Cowboys having mismatching colors from their pants to their helmets. Not a huge fan of that.
What did I have you Google though?
Yeah, you did. You did have me Google it, and everybody should Google it. I should look up my history so I know exactly what people should Google here, because we looked. Nick, you put me on this. If the Cowboys jersey matched the pants, is what I Googled. I went to images, and right there, it's like the 5th. Yeah, it's the 5th result. You get to see this. What did they call it?
Right? Seafoam green, right?
It's seafoam green. I think it's Michael Gallup. But
it changed
both
my
of those
perspective.
guys.
It changed my whole perspective on those pants.
It does. If they matched, I think it's a lot better. But those are sick. Those are clean. I am excited for the alternate helmets to come back. Helmets are also another thing that I think are just like super dope, and alternate helmets in the NFL are going to be amazing once those things come back. But I am a uniform nut for some reason. I love like the aesthetics of the game, and like I follow, certain soccer accounts that always tweet out like, "Oh, this new kit's been leaked." Because in soccer they get new kit every year, and they get like 4 kits a year.
Every year they switch it up,
dude.
And they got third kit. They have a third kit with neon.
Yes. I wish I'm not. It's not my office right now. I bought the Tottenham Hotspur's third kit that's like the space, like the splatter paint one. Dude, it goes hard. But I wish the NFL or like MLB, the NBA does actually a really good job with this. I think this is one thing that the NBA does really well, besides treating their players fairly. Because they're the best league at that. I think that they do a really good job at getting multiple uniforms for their teams. Like the Orlando Magic have like 6 different uniforms they can wear. That's sick, and that's also more money in the pockets of the teams. So like, I don't know why you don't make a bunch of uniforms.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like, here's a money grab. Go for it.
It's a win-win. But Nick, appreciate you hopping on with me as we tackle another outside the trenches without our fearless leader BJ Kissel. He's working behind the scenes. You'll see him eventually. You'll see what he does maybe before you see him. Maybe that's how he works. But any final thoughts, Nick?
No, man. Just be safe out there. Avoid the nonsense.
Indeed.
That's all we can say. And be positive.
avoid the nonsense and be positive. Great things to end the show with. So we'll be back with another episode of Outside the Trenches. Thank you to Jack Stack Barbecue. Make sure you catch you get in on that a la carte sale that they got going on. Save up to 40%. Use code StockUp22 for sale prices and free shipping. You got to use that by March 6th to join in on that. So until next time, we'll talk to you later, Chiefs Kingdom.